Hello guys, I want to show you 5 essential steps of designing and preparing a label for printing like this. I'm Ben and this is Ben's channel. Come with me. Number 1, make a brief. Before I started designing, I read a book. It's not a book. Anyway, first of all, I write down anything I should receive or ask from the customer. For example, the size of the label, type of the bottle, and brand name, product name, class type, and so on. In some case, the customer does not know the exact size of the label. In this case, it is enough to ask the type of the bottle, and you can find out by a search. For example, the can 473 ml. You can search, you can find a good size for this type of the beer. After that, I start to find the items related to the project and put together to come up with a new idea. As you can see, I have some picture that I search in the internet about this related to this project. For example, the animal. For example, a character, a color, or for example, sunglasses. When I make this collection, some things may be coming to my mind. For example, I make a character with the sunglasses, with the shirt, and I want to find out what kind of the shirt we need. You can find out anything that you want, and it's just for an idea. It's not a general things. Number 2, make a label file. Come with me. In this step, I create the file based on the label size. To do this, I create the new document by Ctrl N, and as you can see, this pop-up coming to your face. In this section, I select the type of measurement. You can see them in the brief. 8 and 5. 8, and this is 5 inch. I put this part together at the 0.125 inch or 3 mm. This is a standard type you have to create for cut line. In fact, this is a standard for an original file. So I just click one, and you can see all of them change to 0.125. These two parts should be for the printing. It should be CMYK, and for something designing like Instagram, you should put them on the RGB or something like that. And the raster effect, you should put them always on 300 ppi for a label. Okay, I click on the create, and this is the new standard file that we create for our label. As you can see, we have a red line. This is a distance, and it is actual same as 0.125 that we consider for the cut line, and this is the actual size for our label. If you click with Ctrl R, you can the ruler. 0 is from the beginning and the 8 inch. Number 3, the standard for designing. My overall design will according to the customer description. In this video, I only talk about the right standard for designing and printing. In a separate video, I will explain to you how to come up with an idea and how to design from the start to finish. In this step, you should pay attention to what is important that the customer of the beer should first see, pay attention to it. It may be important to be natural in one product, and in some case maybe the material used is important, but in the general the name as well as the logo of the product are usually the most important part in any type of the label you want to design. For this design, as you can see, I put the name on the top and the center of the design. Try to use simple and common font for names most of the time to make them easier to read. Also try to not to place the font less than 6 points in the center, because it will be harder to read. But it also depends on the type of the font. But generally, I am not interested to use the font less than 6 points in the center. One thing that is important, you should write down this part, government warning, in capital letters. This is general standard, but you can consider the font of this part less than 6 points, because the general information is the same in all label of the beer, and customer can understanding just with one eye. For can and bottle, I usually try to have 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. I can show you with the ruler. These 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. This is the center, and this part, this and this is for information. I choose this part for barcode, government, and so on. And this is the logo and other things, for example, address and other things I choose for this part. For coloring, I usually create a separate artboard and test different color on it. If you select all of them and select this, you can change the color in advanced option and click on the edit. In this section, you can see all of the color and change them together without the overall rhythm of the color change, like this. As you can see, the gradient are same, and the saturation of the color also same, but the color changing in any way I want. I test them and choose one of them if I want to test colors. Number 4, output. Get the right output for the file design for printing. Usually I deliver 2 original files to the client to use for printing. An AI file and the PDF as well as a PDF file. First of all, save a separate file for yourself, because the file you deliver to the customer will be a little different. So I click Ctrl Shift and S, and I just click on the save, and because I have it, I change the name ABC. No, ABC. Okay. I do not change anything in this section. I just click on the OK. This is fine for me. And after that, to get the right output, you need to convert all fonts to the line. To do this, I select all things and I just click Ctrl Shift and O. And as you can see, all font convert to the line. After that, I just click on Ctrl+Shift+S and I change them to ABC for print. And like before, I didn't change anything in this section. I just click OK, this file for customer, and I do another save for PDF. Ctrl+Shift+S and I change them to the PDF. Click save and you can see this pop-up coming. I change them to 1.6 because usually printer wants to change them above 1.4. After that, I go to the marks and bleeds. I click on trim marks for the cut lines, and I make sure to this box is checked to use 0.125 inch that we put them in the label file. Just click on the save and I didn't change anything on this section. And this is file for printing 1 and 2. Number 5, presentation. We have the final file, but I use mockup in Photoshop to make the client have a better view of the can and also to impress them more. In more case, I usually ready-made mockup because the speed of work is important to client, but sometimes you can find a photo for them. I will explain them in a full video later. But in general, you can download this bottle. For example, if you subscribe some site like Shutterstock or Adobe Stock. All mockups usually have a section where you can put your design like this. Click on this part. As you can see, you can put your design on it. I change my design and put them. I just make it bigger and I close them. I click on the yes, and after that all things work down by itself like this. Now what I do in this section is to find a background that fits the angle of the bottle and put them in the others. I have already downloaded this. I turn on the layer, I put the bottle on it, and maybe add some shadow and lights on the bottle, and maybe add a color like this to make it more naturally, and add some other things like this, and make some shadow under the any of the bottle. This make them more naturally. And as you can see, I changed some saturation color, and this is the final file for presentation. You can put them with the final file and gave them to the customer. That's it.